Hi everyone, it's Blake again with Northwinds Wilderness School. Welcome back and thanks for coming with us on this journey. I've got Evie with me today. She's helping me. You may notice that there's a big tree behind me. So it's a little colder than we thought it was going to be today, but we're out tapping our maple trees for syruping. We've got probably 12 trees on the property that we tap, and that'll get us a couple gallons of syrup. So while we were out, we started talking and we decided that maybe you guys would like to come with us and see how this is done. I realize not all of you live in areas where there's maple trees, and maybe some of you who do live in an area with maple trees don't know anything about making syrup. So we're going to show you how to tap a tree. First thing you want to do is make sure you've got a maple. If you're not great with your tree ID, the easiest thing to do is wait till summer when the leaves come out, find what you know is a maple tree and mark it. Then you can come back to it in the winter when there's no leaves on it. Couple of things. I like to describe maple bark as it looks like the tree outgrew it and it cracked. So this bark is super tight to the tree, it's super tight fitting, and it looks like the tree just outgrew its clothes. Also, maples have both alternately spaced branches and opposite spaced branches. If you find any opposite spaced branches, you're probably looking at a maple. Oaks only do alternate. For those of you who care, the Latin of this tree is Acer saccharin. And there's a lot of things you can do with this tree other than making syrup. The sap that comes out, you can just drink. It comes out of the tree potable. It really has no flavor. It just tastes like water. But when the leaves first pop out of that bud, they're nice and tender. You can just eat them raw. And also the seeds, the little helicopter guys, you can eat those. So it's a pretty cool tree. It's actually the state tree here in Wisconsin. So let's get this show started. All right. So you don't need a lot of equipment for doing this. What I've got here is a drill. It's a 5/16 bit that's very, very sharp. The sharper your bit, the less damage you do to the tree. And you'll see there's duct tape on here. I measured 1.5 inches from the tip of the bit, and I marked it with duct tape. That ensures that you're staying in the sapwood, that you're not going through to the heartwood. The heartwood doesn't have sap flow in it, and you won't get anything out. Plus, the deeper your hole is, the more likely you are to damage the tree. When you're tapping these trees, you want to keep the longevity of the tree in mind. We'll talk about how to put in the spile in just a minute, but don't drive your spile too far in. Don't drill your hole too deep. And when you pull that spile out after the syruping is done, put a piece of a branch or something in there. Plug that hole up to keep bugs out. When you're tapping the tree, what you want is typically you want either the south or the west side of the tree. As the sun comes up, it'll warm the tree and the sap will start running faster. What you really want when you're tapping these trees is around 40 to 45 degrees during the day and below freezing at night. The warmer temperatures during the day warm up the tree and that sap starts to flow up. Then at night, when it cools down, the sap comes back down, and what you get then is you catch the sap on the way up and the way down. So you're maximizing your sap flow. Like I mentioned, today it's like 35 degrees out, so the sap is flowing, but very slowly. Also, when you tap, you want to be either above a large root or below a large branch. I know you can't see it, but there's a large branch right above me. When the sap flows up, it goes out into the branches to get to those buds to help those leaves grow. And when it comes back down, it goes down into the larger roots. So if you're above a large root or below a large branch, you're in an ideal position. And when you drill your hole, you want to make it a slight upward angle. You don't need 45 degrees, but a slight upward angle. And you need to hold the drill very steady so that the hole doesn't wobble or oval. You need your hole nice and round. So right below this branch, 2 to 4 feet off the ground is going to be your ideal height. Can you hold this? Just make sure it doesn't fall on the ground. All right. The hole's nice and cleaned out, and there's already sap coming out of this hole. So now we're going to put in the spile. Can I have it? This is what we use. It's just a little stainless steel spile. It's about 2 inches long. It's about 5/16 in diameter. You want to put it in the hole, snug. You don't want to pound this in. You just want to tap it. If you can't pull it out with your hands, that's enough. The tighter in it goes, the more likely you are to crack or split the tree or the bark, or create an opening that won't heal, and thus you're damaging the tree. So, oh, did you see that? The sap's coming out. That's all you need.
And on this end, you put it in...
Wait, what is it? What is this blue thing?
A pipe.
A hose.
A hose.
What's it for?
Put it in the last hole, and then on the other end, down here, there's a bucket you can't see, and you put the other end in that hole.
So this hose helps get the sap from the tree to the bucket?
Yes.
Wow.
And the other end, once you put that in, you take the other end and put it in the hole of your bucket, and then the sap could land right in the bucket.
Yeah. So what Evie was so eloquently telling you is that we pushed the end of the hose onto the spile. I'm not sure why I didn't film it. I apologize. And then you measure from the spile to the ground. You don't need to use a tape measure or something. You just... Will you hold this drill, babe?
Yes.
The bucket goes at the bottom of the tree. When you're cutting your hose, remember, the snow is going to melt and the bucket's going to go down, so make the hose longer than you think it needs to be. I'm just going to cut this hose. All right. This is what the hose looks like. It comes all coiled up like this. This is for maple syruping. That's what it's made for. It's not very expensive. You can buy it on Amazon. Now, where does that end go?
Right into the hole of the bucket.
And that's it. We're syruping. Now, the bucket will catch the sap. On a warm day, you can get a couple gallons a day out of one tree, so make sure you're checking your buckets regularly. And that's it. That's the whole thing. When you're picking the tree, once you have solidly identified it as a maple, first, you want to check for environmental things around you. Make sure you're in a clean area. Second, make sure you're in a place where you're allowed to tap trees. You can get in trouble for doing this. You want a tree that's at least 8 to 10 inches in diameter. 16 to 20 would be better. I think this one's sitting right at about a foot. And be careful. Make sure that you're not damaging the tree. There are maple syruping operations that have been using the same trees for over 100 years. If you do this right, it is sustainable. You can do it without permanently injuring the trees. Thank you so much for coming with us on this. On behalf of Evie and me, we appreciate every second that you spend watching our videos and supporting our vision. If you've had experience tapping maple trees, or if you have any questions about it, let us know in the comments. If you found any value in this, please find a friend to share it with. And from me, have a good day.
And I have my own channel. If you haven't seen my channels, just go to my channels.
It's called Little Girl in the Woods.
Little Girl in the Woods. And then watch one of those videos if you didn't see one. I'm happy for us to join us. Bye.
Bye.